Has your cat ever stared at you and then slowly closed their eyes? Most people think it's just a cute little quirk, but behind that tiny movement lies millions of years of evolution and a scientific discovery that shocked the world of animal behavior. In 2020, scientists in the UK ran the very first controlled experiment on this behavior, and what they found stunned the entire field of animal ethology. Today, we're going to break down exactly what that study revealed, and by the end of this video, you will never see your cat the same way again. If this kind of content sounds fascinating to you, the real science behind why your cat does what it does, hit that subscribe button right now, turn on the notification bell, and give this video a like. Every week, we dig into the hidden science of cat behavior, backed by real research. Let me start with a question. Why does your cat slow blink at you, but almost never at a stranger? And why does it only happen when your cat seems relaxed and content? To answer that, we need to go back to the fundamentals of how the cat's eye evolved and what seeing really means in the animal kingdom. Here's something most cat owners never think about. Your cat is both a predator and prey. Yes, at the same time. In the wild, animals like eagles, coyotes, and wolves actively hunt cats. This dual role as hunter and hunted has shaped nearly every behavior your cat displays, including what they do with their eyes. In almost every animal society on Earth, prolonged direct eye contact, what we call a stare, carries the same universal meaning: threat. It is the signal that says, "I am about to attack you." From wolves to gorillas to your house cat, a hard, unblinking stare means the same thing. Danger is coming. So what does the opposite signal, slowly closing and reopening the eyes, communicate? It is the exact reverse message. It says, "I do not see you as a threat. I feel safe here with you." In the field of animal ethology, this is formally classified as an appeasement signal, a behavior that actively reduces tension and conflict between individuals. In 2020, Professor Karen McComb and her team at the University of Sussex in the United Kingdom published a landmark study. The title was, "Human-Cat Relationship is Associated with Cat Eye Narrowing and Blinking." It appeared in Scientific Reports, a journal published by the same group as Nature. This was the first time the slow blink had ever been tested in a controlled scientific experiment. The experiment had two parts. In the first part, cat owners were asked to sit with their own cats and deliberately perform a slow blink. The results were clear. Cats responded to their owners' slow blinks with significantly more slow blinks of their own compared to when the owner simply maintained a neutral expression without blinking. But the second part of the experiment was even more surprising. This time, it wasn't the owner. It was a complete stranger, a researcher the cat had never met. When that stranger performed a slow blink, the cats were significantly more likely to approach that stranger compared to when the stranger used a neutral face. A slow blink from a stranger built a bridge of trust in just seconds. Now here's an important distinction. Do cats slow blink at each other? Yes, but the context is very different. Between cats, the slow blink typically appears only when their social relationship is already stable and well established. You almost never see it between cats meeting for the first time. It requires a pre-existing foundation of trust. But when it comes to humans, cats slow blink far more spontaneously and frequently. This tells us something extraordinary. It means cats have expanded their behavioral repertoire, the toolkit of signals they use, specifically to communicate with humans. This is co-evolution in action. 10,000 years of living together has shaped a new language between two different species. About 10,000 years ago, wild cats made a remarkable choice. They walked into human grain storage areas, not because humans invited them, but because those areas were full of rodents. The cats that could tolerate and communicate with humans thrived. The ones that couldn't disappeared from human settlements. Natural selection was quietly at work. Here's a striking piece of evidence for this theory. Feral cats, cats that are born and raised completely without human contact, show the slow blink behavior far less frequently than domesticated cats. The behavior appears to be specifically amplified in cats that grow up around humans. This strongly suggests it isn't just a random quirk. It's a socially reinforced adaptation. So how do you actually use this knowledge? The scientists offer a beautifully simple method. Start by letting your cat be in a comfortable, relaxed position. Sit at their level. Then, with your eyes slightly narrowed, very slowly close your eyes, hold for a moment, and gently reopen them. Don't stare intensely. Don't force it. Just offer the signal and wait. One critical thing to avoid: the hard, direct stare. If you lock eyes with a cat and hold that gaze without blinking, you are sending a tension signal, not a love signal. The most effective technique is to perform the slow blink and then gently shift your gaze slightly to the side. This complete release of visual focus tells your cat, "I am not monitoring you as a threat." Now, let's go deeper. When you analyze the contexts in which slow blinking appears most frequently, patterns emerge. Cats are most likely to slow blink after eating, after grooming, and when resting in their preferred secure location. These are all moments of maximum physiological relaxation, when the nervous system is at its calmest. On the flip side, when a cat is stressed, the slow blink essentially disappears. Instead, you see wide-open eyes, dilated pupils, a stiff body posture, and an unblinking, vigilant stare. From an ethological standpoint, this is the sympathetic nervous system, the fight-or-flight system, in full activation. The cat's brain is scanning the environment for threats, and every visual resource is being maximized. Let me correct a very common misunderstanding right now. Many people believe that when a cat stares at them intensely without blinking, it means the cat loves them and is deeply focused on them with affection. This interpretation is almost always wrong. That unblinking focused stare activates the exact same neural circuits as the predatory hunting gaze. It is not a love language. The real signals of affection and deep trust are these: the slow blink, the half-closed eye resting expression, and, the most powerful signal of all, a cat that falls asleep next to you with its eyes completely closed. When a cat sleeps beside you with closed eyes, it is saying, "With you here, I do not need to watch for predators. You are my safe place." That is the highest level of trust a cat can express. This behavior isn't unique to your house cat. Researchers observing lions, cheetahs, and tigers in sanctuaries have noted similar eye-softening signals within established social groups. Staff at big cat sanctuaries have reported that performing slow blinks toward large felids produces measurable tension reduction effects. This tells us the slow blink is an ancient code written into the behavioral DNA of the entire cat family millions of years before your tabby was born. Let's bring in the neuroscience for a moment. While direct brain imaging studies on cats during slow blinking are limited, there is indirect evidence suggesting that slow blink behavior correlates with reduced amygdala activation. The amygdala is the brain's threat detection and fear response center. When a cat slow blinks, it may literally be a full-body declaration from the brain. Threat level 0. All clear. This technique is especially powerful when meeting a new cat or helping a recently adopted cat adjust to your home. Get down to their level. Literally sit on the floor. Move slowly. Let them come to you. And when they make eye contact, offer a slow blink. In the Maine study, even strangers were able to trigger approach behavior in unfamiliar cats using this method alone. No treats, no toys, just the blink. In multi-cat households, the same principle applies. When introducing a new cat to your resident cats, one often overlooked strategy is to slow blink at your existing cats during the introduction period. This helps keep their baseline arousal lower, which reduces the likelihood of territorial aggression. The day you see your cats slow blinking at each other is the day you know the social acceptance is real. But here's an important warning. Do not attempt the slow blink technique with a cat that is already hiding, actively stressed, or showing signs of fear. Trying to engage a highly aroused cat with eye contact of any kind, even a gentle slow blink, can feel intrusive and worsen their anxiety. The slow blink works when the cat is already at a baseline of calm. Your first job is always to create a safe environment. The blink comes second. Now, in the spirit of scientific honesty, let's acknowledge what the Maine study did not measure. It documented behavior, the rate of slow blinking responses and approach behaviors, but it did not directly measure what the cat was subjectively experiencing emotionally. We cannot yet put a brain scanner on a free-roaming cat and measure what they feel during a slow blink. That research frontier is still open. But here's why that doesn't diminish the significance of the finding. In ethology, behavior itself carries meaning, regardless of whether we can access the subjective inner experience of the animal. The measured fact is this: slow blinking statistically increases positive social interaction between cats and humans. That is real, that is measurable, and that changes how we should engage with our cats every single day. So here's your experiment for tonight. When you get home, let your cat settle into their favorite spot. Sit down nearby, not hovering over them, but at their level. When they make eye contact with you, do this. Eyes slightly narrowed, slow close, brief pause, gentle reopen. Then shift your gaze softly to the side. Wait 3 seconds. If your cat responds, that is 10,000 years of evolution speaking to you in the only language it knows. Let's bring everything together. The slow blink is not simply a cute, affectionate habit. It is an appeasement signal, a conflict reduction behavior that evolved from the predator-prey communication system of the entire cat family. In house cats specifically, it has been amplified and refined over 10,000 years of co-evolution with humans, becoming a cross-species social bridge. The 2020 Maine study proved, for the first time in a controlled experiment, that this is a bidirectional communication, not just something cats do, but something we can initiate and they will respond to. When your cat slowly closes their eyes at you, they are saying, "I trust you. I am safe with you." And when you return that slow blink, you are answering back in their language. "I trust you too. You are safe with me." This is the quietest, most ancient conversation between two species, and it has been happening silently in living rooms around the world for 10,000 years. Next week, we go even deeper into the mystery of cat communication. Did you know that the meow, that sound your cat makes constantly at you, is almost never used between cats themselves? Adult cats rarely meow at other cats. That sound was developed specifically for us. And the science behind why suggests something that will genuinely surprise you. It may have evolved as a carefully tuned strategy, designed to trigger human caregiving instincts. Don't miss it. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Has your cat ever given you a slow blink? Did you try blinking back, and what happened? And if you test the slow blink tonight after watching this video, come back and tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Your cat's story might just end up in a future episode. A quick note on our standards. Every video on this channel is built on peer-reviewed research and published ethology studies. No guesswork, no myths, just science, explained in a way that actually helps you understand your cat. The full citation for the Maine et al. 2020 study is in the description below. I strongly encourage you to read it yourself. It's more accessible than most academic papers, and it will change the way you look at your cat forever. Understanding your cat is more than becoming a better owner. It is learning to communicate across the boundary between two entirely different species. Two minds that evolved separately, came together 10,000 years ago, and have been slowly, quietly building a shared language ever since. Thank you for being part of that story. Thank you for being curious. I'll see you next week. If this video gave you something new, a new way to see your cat, a new thing to try tonight, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Every week, we take one cat behavior, go all the way to the science behind it, and come back with something you can actually use. Your cat is waiting. See you next week.